Hello, welcome to another Purple Insider Extra. Matthew Coller, Sam Ekstrom here. Make sure you're listening to our longer conversations on the Purple Insider podcast. Click the link below or go to wherever you get your podcasts and check out our written work, purpleinsider.substack.com. Sam, you just did a great article looking at Jalen Twyman and Patrick Jones, both coming from Pitt. So go check that out. That one's open for everyone to read, by the way. So let's talk about OTAs. They're happening, Sam. Last year we had this empty offseason where we didn't have anything to look at or talk about, but players around the league are showing up for these OTAs. I expect when the Vikings hit the field next week that we'll see the same thing. Let's talk about things we're looking for from OTAs. What tops your list?
I think I want to see if the Vikings are setting up competitions on the offensive line, or if they're basically giving these jobs to the rookies. Usually, the Vikings will start with a veteran getting the first team reps. And like with Pat Elflein, for instance, he was second team for a long time and then sort of took the lead at the end. That's a lot of times how it goes with these young guys. But I think we all kind of know that Christian Darrisaw is eventually the guy. Wyatt Davis is going to be the guy. Are they going to put Rashad Hill and Mason Cole in the starting tackle and guard spots? Or are they just going to just get to it? Just put Darrisaw, next to Ezra Cleveland, start building the chemistry. Put Davis next to Bradbury, start building the chemistry. Can we just get to that point from day one instead of having the charade of Mason Cole being the OTA starter? I'd like to see how the Vikings handle that.
I agree. That should be interesting to watch for. And you're right that you want these guys building from the very start, from rookie camp to OTAs to mandatory minicamp and going forward. But also, I would say it is something that the Vikings do. So it's not a concern if Mason Cole is taking the first team reps from OTAs and mandatory minicamp. There's a long way to go from there. I'm very interested, Sam, to see if Danielle Hunter is at OTAs. Now, this is a thing that we've been on watch for a couple of years in the past. There was Stephon Diggs' watch where he didn't show up for a couple of the days, and then he did show up a couple days after, and then he claimed there was some sort of housing problem that he was having that I'm not sure was actually the truth, and that was weird. Anthony Barr missed a day, which made a lot of waves, and then we found out he was just getting insurance for his future in case he got hurt. With Danielle Hunter, his contract situation would lend itself to someone not coming to OTAs until he has more guaranteed money. There has been reporting that he wants to either be traded or to redo his contract. So if he's there, then it would be a sign that he feels like things are going to work out with the Vikings. And if he is not there, then we continue our Danielle Hunter watch. That's at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, when if he's there, are we going to hear from him? Are we going to get a chance to talk to him? Because if he's made available and if he's willing to talk, that I think would also indicate that things are cool, things are okay. There's also kind of a tantalizing middle ground where he's there, but maybe he's not wearing a helmet. Maybe he's only stretching. Maybe he doesn't talk to the media, and it's clear that there's something broiling beneath the surface. I think that could be a very real possibility too, where just more questions get introduced. I'm also looking at that kind of wide receiver depth chart too. We've got Jefferson, we've got Thielen, and then who? Is it going to be BC Johnson sort of slotted in to the slot, if you will? Cue the rim shot there. BC Johnson, year 3, as he improved. Amir Smith-Marset, is he going to be the latest 5th round star or the latest 5th round bust? We don't know yet, but there's a lot of competition for wide receiver spots 3, 4, and probably even 5. I don't know if KJ Osborne is locked into this roster. They kind of drafted a kick returner and maybe a punt returner too to replace him after things didn't work out last year. So there are a lot of questions in that wide receiver room.
I'll stay with the special teams mention, and I'll go with who is kicking. They signed someone named Riley Patterson, who, I don't know, didn't look that great at rookie minicamp, but I couldn't tell you just off a few kicks whether he's going to be the kicker or not. There's someone else there. Is it Greg Joseph is his name? So we'll see.
I believe
right?
so, yeah.
Right? I mean, neither of these two guys are going to be the kicker, right? Or are they? I guess we start to find out through OTAs whether they look like they can really be the Vikings kicker or not. So we'll be always out there charting, did he make this many kicks or that many kicks? But in all seriousness, no, I think that wide receiver 3 battle will be very interesting to watch and will be sort of at the top of everybody's list, but we haven't mentioned it yet, and we have to go there, Sam. Kellen Mond. The Mond watch is on. If we're breaking down his 7-on-7 work that was open to the media for about 45 minutes from the other day, we are really going to be watching every rep of Kellen Mond closely in OTAs. And I would always warn, hey, these guys are just trying to get footwork down. They're trying to learn the playbook. If you're a rookie, this is not the time to be making judgments, but this is the NFL. It's going to be hard not to make our first impressions when we see Kellen Mond.
Let me just warn the audience. There are going to be a lot of videos of Kellen Mond completing passes against air on your Twitter feed once it starts coming out at OTAs. And I promise you, I will be the balance to this. I will tweet out his incompletions. I will tweet out his bad plays. I will provide the opposite side of the coverage, just so you know that there is some balance to it, because there is a tendency to get tunnel vision with sort of these easy drills, a lot of completions, a lot of, shots downfield where it's one-on-one or something like that. It can all be very deceiving. What we really don't know is, how is he digesting the playbook? Like, is he getting his reads correct? How is his footwork? Are the mechanics looking good? These are all the things that we don't necessarily know from the sideline, that we'll need to sort of dig into and report on further as he develops.
Right. So we'll try our best to give some sort of takeaway from Kellen Mond from OTAs, but he will be a thing to watch. We'll be tracking every rep and what he looks like. And then when you get to mandatory minicamp in the middle of June, that's when you get a little 11-on-11 work that usually is open to the media. That will be very fascinating to watch how Mond looks in that, because that, I think, has been a bit of a precursor to training camp in past years when watching the backup quarterback competition. So we will be there for it all as Purple Insiders. And if you want to hear complete coverage, the podcast, Purple Insider Podcast, and purpleinsider.substack.com. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.